Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the Unseen, Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we take a look at current energies, the numbers, the intuitive guidance for the collective to guide us forward, to move us forward, to elevate us. And so what an exciting, powerful, challenging, which means opportunity, moment, week. Some really big energies occurring. And I say that a lot, big energies, because it's an action-packed time. We are changing so quickly, so rapidly, from where we were to where we are, present meaning where we're going, where we are. And so for all of you who join every single week and listen or catch the replays and pat yourselves on the back. And I mean that with great sincerity, because sometimes when we're in the thick of it, we're in the weeds of it, we lose track, we lose sight of how much we're growing, how much we're changing. And so it's important to just take that moment and say, pat yourself on the back and say, you know what? Thank you. We've got this. We're doing this. We're effectuating it. We're making change. And that's a brilliantly amazing thing. It's an accomplishment, and it's to be celebrated. So welcome, everyone. Please put in the comments as you're joining from, just to say hello. It's the way that I know you're there. And then also incorporate your comments and your questions throughout the broadcast. So as you're hearing the information, we will incorporate it live. And so good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Olivia. Welcome. And let's just take a look at the current energies, and I'm going to just throw up there on the screen really quickly our current energies mantra, and then into the main energies. And the main theme for this week is clarity. And if you watched last week, you'll know this was part of the theme. Last week was about metamorphosis, this change form, this transfiguration, and the limitless possibilities and the calm before the advance. And clarity, the John Mayer Gravity song, was a part of this. Well, they did not let go. The Unseen, did not let go, because this whole theme this week is clarity. So I want to give you, and this gathering together, but clarity is this. And let me just, I've got the main energies up, but I'm just going to bring up the image right now. The main theme of clarity, and you see this vibrant sunflower radiating, and they said unmistakable, undeniable, unforgettable, put an "un" in front of it, clarity, unmistakable, undeniable, unforgettable. So they're really bringing home this message that something is going to occur, something that brings about such clarity, clarity of mind, clarity of consciousness, clarity in purpose, life purpose, what we're doing here, why we're doing it. And you notice the sun radiating, illuminating us. And so that's the main theme, clarity. And I'm laughing because I don't even know. They're really not letting go of it. So just be aware that this epic moment of clarity or expression of clarity is going to be occurring. Time is always elusive because, of course, time doesn't exist outside of the realm of Earth and consciousness here. So, however, their main message is clarity. Have I said that enough? It's the unseen. I'm like, have I said that enough? So here's our weekly main energy. We have an all month long, so April is a 4-month. It's about youthful folly and trying again, to be childlike, to not give up. Remember that 29th degree, that anaretic degree that says it's the degree of faith. It's that do not give up. And so we've got youthful folly, and 4 is also foundational. It represents our foundation, our stability, that which we stand upon. And so there's this sense of an absolutism, like the cube, and that cube, and how when it's turned on its side, it's the emerald cube within us, and how we are that, we stand upon it, and that youthful folly allows us to be guided by it, to follow it, to try again. We have double 5s and double 7s playing out. So 5 is nourished while waiting, patience. And this is to say, we've all, no matter what we're experiencing, no matter where we are, in some way, shape, or form, we have been nourished and provided for while exercising patience. And that is one of those most challenging energies, patience. And yet it's so profound. Then we've got the 7, double 7s, those army, legions, correct discipline, meaning we have everything within us. And the legions, that which is unseen, the legions on that side, the earth angels, the legions on this side, it's all about that. Then we have the 16, because the 4-5 2023 becomes a 16. And that's about enthusiasm. And remember, enthusiasm opens many doors. So it's about staying in a positive lane space. And, I'll talk about this in a minute with the astro influences. This full moon, the Libra full pink moon is today. It's tonight, Pacific time, roughly 9 something Pacific time. So into the 6th in other locations in the world. So we have this, but we have this doubling down. So we have this doubling down of nourishment while waiting and patience and army legions, this correct discipline, this going as guided, knowing to respond, not react, to think before we speak or type or tweet or whatever. It's correct discipline because we have everything. It's to see beyond or through the illusions. 16, enthusiasm, excite. To be excited about the present moment. There's so much in the present moment that when we are focused there, and you'll see there's a quote later about the present moment, that there's enthusiasm in the present moment. And then there's the overall number, the 4 and the 5 coming together, this gathering together, this network, and how, remember, when 2 or more are gathered, there I am. Well, it's to say that when we gather together, when we network, when we unite, and when we focus positively with enthusiasm and correct discipline and knowing that we're nourished in this youthful folly of trying again, we can accomplish great, great things, great change, great clarity. And so this is where and you see my hands coming together. This is where the unseen gathers together with us, meets with us. We come in together at the same time. We join together at the same time. And how that brings about epic clarity. Just want to acknowledge Kelly and Kim and Ann and Colleen. Welcome. And just jump off really quickly. Kim is saying, good morning from Ontario. I have a funny story. I was traveling west to east this week. I was stopped by the same train that was also traveling the same direction twice. Then I crossed above it once, heard the horn as soon as I came into my house. At the point I crossed over the train, I got it. Get in the train. You've got the golden ticket. Exactly. And you're going to see how there's this we've been talking about, Brigitte, good morning. There's this, you've got the golden ticket. Here's what Kim is referencing. And remember, they've been saying the unseen has been saying to us for some time, you've got the golden ticket. New adventure awaits. Get on the train. Don't be late to the party. Be on time. Don't be late to the party. And why? Because we're going to be exceeding. We're going to be exceeding who we are, who we've been. We're going to be exceeding the limitations. And look at the beauty of this carousel tent and the hot air balloons rising above. Look again, childhood folly, the joy of the carousel and the big tent. We're exceeding our limitations. We're exceeding our existence, what we've known to be our reality. We're moving up. Here's this image of all of the balloons lifting us. It's a home, the home representing our foundation, the fours, that home representing our identities, our safety, our security, and it's being lifted intact. It's being lifted up and being moved, repositioned, delivered somewhere. And that somewhere, of course, is the image of these radiant sunflowers, this epicness of this utopian state. I know it all sounds very, fanciful and so forth, and yet isn't that the magic? Because again, there's the same sunflowers with this epic clarity, unmistakable, undeniable, unforgettable clarity. So this is what's occurring, taking place. And with that, just to go back and finish up with Kim's comment, because the old train is going nowhere. And remember, the theme of the show, they said clarity, ... the bridge to nowhere or everywhere. You choose, your decision, your choice, choose. And so you can see with this analogy that Kim is sharing with us from the shows, one train just comes in, it's parked, it's dead end, it goes nowhere, it's over. Its journey, its time, its purpose, its journey, and within us, it's over, it's complete. And again, to use the Lady Jacqueline and everything and bringing it home, that can be a person, a place, a relationship, a career, a job, a city, anything in our lives. And in a greater sense, an epic, a 2,000 plus year epic has served its time, its purpose, its value. That train comes in and docks. It is not going anywhere. And my sister and I were talking about this because this 29 and 0, 29 degrees and 0 degrees. Both the 29 is the anaretic degree and the 0 is the most, these 2 degrees are the most important. It's the ending and the beginning. And we were talking about the fact that when you see Pluto, this massive change going between ingressing into Aquarius, and this epic change, and it's going kind of 0, 29, it's going to retrograde 0, it's going to do this, a little bit back and forth, this ping-ponging back and forth. And yet, the momentum, the energy behind this ping-ponging of 29 into 0, back to 29 to 0, until finally in January, I think it's January 21st, 2024, that's when it officially goes forward, stays and advances into Aquarius. the point of this is, however, once you realize it's like the train taking off, it's like what Kim was talking about. The train, when you cross the platform, because the old train's done, it's over. Get on the new train. You got the golden ticket. You're not going to be late to the party. You're on it. The momentum, the chug, chug, you can feel that forward, back, forward, back, forward, back movement. However, the ultimate underlining energy of that force is forward. It's not going 29-0, 29-0 to go 29, 28, 27 to go backwards. No, it's 29-0, 29-0 until it finally goes to go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's moving forward. You see on the golden ticket, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 0, 29, 28, 27. So it's to remember that even though the backdrop, even though it looks like we might be sliding backwards, going backwards, world events, people wanting to reclaim the 1950s and before that, the arc of destiny is forward. The momentum, the underlining, the foundational energy of this moment, of this time, is forward. It moves us forward. Period. End of story. And so again, remember, the faster that if you're in challenge, if you're in opposition to that, surrender. Surrender and get on the train, because the train is leaving the station. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can look back at time. You can look back at our known history and see that the arc of destiny always advances forward. It moves us forward. So if you're in conflict and challenge, do your absolute best to surrender and to come to peace, come into a wholeness and oneness and calm. With it's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay. But make the decision to go forward. And should you already be almost maybe impatient, having frustration or anxiety because you're like, let's go already, let's go. Just remember, there's that nourished while waiting patience, because it is advancing. And there is something epic about this moment. So Brigitte's saying it's like the reruns of a show coming up. Just move past them and find something new to watch. Exactly. We can enjoy a rerun. We can enjoy the past. It's just that we're not meant to stay there. We're not meant to live in the past. And we're not meant to live in this pining for the future. It's about the present moment. Because the present moment, and let me just bring this up because it is a beautiful quote. I'm going to fix it now. Nothing exists but the present. If one cannot live there, one cannot live anywhere. It is in the present moment. And you see the tides, you see the ocean image, the beautiful sky above, the sand and the terra, the earth, the sand. And yet look how, like, when sand is dry, it just goes through, it falls through your hands, through your fingers. And yet when it's nourished, the water on it, it creates a firm foundation. And so this nourished while waiting, this patience, it's got the ebb and flow, the tides, the patience, the being in the flow, the oneness with the present moment. Because that's all we're given. That's all that we have is the present moment. And so while we listen and look for, go as guided, see what's coming about, it is the value of the present moment. So let's jump into the astro influences, because these are epic. So this is tonight into and early morning hours of tomorrow. It is the Libra full pink moon. Now, what I want to bring your attention to, and this clarity of this week. So last Sunday, so from a Christian perspective, last Sunday, God, I'm just drawing a blank. It'll come to me. Sorry. because I'm so focused on today. Today is Passover. It's also the Libra full moon, this pink moon. We then have coming up Good Friday. Good Friday is the crucifixion. Easter on Sunday is the resurrection. Astrologically coinciding with this, on March 21st was the new moon. We have 2 new moons in Aries. It doesn't happen very often. And yet this is the beginning of so literally the day before, on March 20th, we began the new astrological year. On March 21st, new moon, Aries, 0 degrees. Coming up on April 20th, it's a few weeks out, we have a second new moon in Aries at 29 degrees. So you can see this 0 and 29, 29 and 0, this playing out. That new moon at 29 degrees is also a total solar eclipse. And it is both a total and an annular. So there are these two, and it's a hybrid. So it's a hybrid eclipse. And I'll put some information in the show comments. What you're wanting to witness, what you're witnessing, what you're experiencing here. And this full moon completes, it's in Libra, it completes the previous axis. So we're now moving into the new axis, meaning Aries and Libra. And so you're going to see how this, and then it's followed by the Mercury retrograde, sorry. So I'm wanting you to see that, so we're bookending, we're in between this epic moment of change, of clarity. Eclipses launch us forward, they move us forward. This pink, rose, nourishment, when you deal with anything pink roses, pink quartz, it's always about nourishment. It's always about calm and soothing. It's everything we need in the moment. It's the salve. It's the balm. It's the oil. They're showing me the spikenard, the oil, in relation to Master Jesus, Mary Magdalene, that was placed upon in reverence, that was placed upon his body. So it's everything we need to manage this moment of epic change, because remember, metamorphosis, a complete change of mind, body, soul, spirit, and reality. The heart leads the way. So this pink full moon, and it's Libra. Libra is the scales. So here we have this Libra full moon. It's a pink moon. You can see the scales of justice. And it's equality. It's balancing things out. It is, and why? To bring about clarity, the truth, the lies fall away. That which is impure falls away, because the rose is the nourishment. It is the balm, the salve, the spikenard, the ointment. And thereby, and it's reminding us, they're saying to me in the moment, it's reminding us to be gentle with ourselves. So as I said at the top of the show, pat yourselves on the back, recognize where you are in the present moment. Recognize this epic change. And then be ready for, is the way, be ready for, because there's something about today. And yes, see, I told you it would come back to me. Last Sunday was Palm Sunday. So it was the entrance of Master Jesus on the donkey into Jerusalem, and the palm fronds being laid and thrown before him. So it was the fulfillment of a prophecy. It was the recognition of him as the Son of God. Today, coinciding with this Libra full pink moon, is Passover. Passover was about They had marked the doors with the lamb's blood, and this energy, this force, passed over and killed the firstborn if there wasn't a mark on the door. So whether it be animal or human, livestock, whatever it was, the firstborn perished. Libra, balancing of scales. Why? So as to set the Israelites free. So we keep utilizing this image, remember, from the tarot, from the devil to the lovers. And notice, in the tarot, the devil card is 15, 1-5. The lover's card is 6. And 6 represents humanity in its purest form, in its nudeness, nakedness. I've done my best to cover anything. But remember, it's about liberation. It's about no longer being enslaved. It is about us finding our way, finding our truth, finding our purity, that childhood folly, so as to reclaim our divinity, our empowerment, our purity, our goodness. And while the backdrop may appear to be something other than it is, we are not going back. We're going forward. So you can see the correlation of this moment and the window that we're in between with these double new moons, the new astrological year, we begin eclipse season. This is the first eclipses of 2023, and they begin on a new axis. And it's about this liberation. Eclipses eclipse us forward. It eclipses things out of our lives. It eclipses things, meaning brings things into our lives. And again, it's a new moon eclipse. So it's a new moon total solar eclipse coming at the end. This is the full moon completing the old cycle, the old ways. So let's move into, and remember, because it's this theme, change, metamorphosis. We've been talking about it. It's from last week's show. I'm just incorporating them because they're giving us some of these double messaging, that the messages are continuing. Why? Because it's about the mantra, advance. And you're going to see how this plays out, this leapfrogging. Go straight to higher status. A leapfrog, that's a definition. It's a game that a child game, right? We would leapfrog over others. It was a game we played as children. Well, it also means, and it's also a learning, it's the name of a children's learning apparatus, if you will. It also, though, means leapfrog. So our two mantras are advance and leapfrog. Go straight to higher status. And this 11 to 42. What this means, and this quantum leap, and I'm going to bring this up. I want you all to see where this is. So again, I've been showing you the Malibu Times newspaper, and you can see here is this massive rainbow, and you see from sea to shore. And then you can see, from 11 to 42. That's the moral of the story here. The moral of the story here is that we are going, this clarity that I'm sharing with you, that they are bringing to me, is saying we're going from an 11, like an 11 state. And remember, 11 is the most intuitive master number. It's a way to or through something, double ones. And they're saying to us, we're going to go from an 11 to 42. Now, what's the significance of 42? Well, 42 is the is the name of God. It's the 42 letters in Hebrew that makes up the quote unquote the unknown name of God, meaning it's obscured. But you can Google 42 and God and source, and you will see how intricately woven it is, the number 42. So what they're saying to us is that we're going from an 11, from ordinary to extraordinary, from color to technicolor, from the old patriarch, old Piscean, to the new matriarchal, Aquarian, golden age, golden ticket, new way of being. And with that, they said, it's been a long time coming. Change is gonna come. And it's the Sam Cooke song. But in essence, they were saying this clarity, this moment, this opportunity, this changing stations, trains, locations. It's been a long time coming. Change is gonna come. They coupled that with somewhere between midnight and the early hours dawn. Destiny rises up to meet, to greet you, to meet you, to greet you. Be surprised not, with exclamation points. So again, in our individual lives, what they're saying to me in this moment right now is be childlike with your enthusiasm, with your imagination, with enthusiasm, with awe and wonder, with grace. Imagine this state of being, this state of truth, this state of destiny, because it's been talked about for 2,000 plus years. And I've said many times in the shows, it's not lost on me. I understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. They give them to me, and they're making us aware. So it's been a long time coming. Change is going to come. And somewhere between midnight and the early hours dawn, destiny rises up to meet you, to greet you. Be surprised not. And I really sat with that because it reminded me, again, to be in a positive state of grace of mind, to be childlike, to see with enthusiasm the awe and wonder around me. So no matter what it looks like, and no matter what we may be dealing with on an individual basis, be surprised not. Find that awe and wonder. Find that grace. Find that. Take a rose bath. Take a smell the rose. Stop and smell the roses. Pink. Scales. The balancing of justice. Yesterday was a very big day internationally. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Justice. There was a step forward regarding justice on an international level, an unprecedented level. Judgment is the outcome, the judgment of that is to come. The point is the correlation, the timing of something like that. What would have been unprecedented, unheard of before, occurred yesterday. So you can see Libra, full moon, pink moon, justice, and this advancing, the old ways crumbling, falling away, because it's a new day, a new era. Third thing they said was somewhere, quote, over the rainbow, and this 11 to 42, a quantum leap forward, this leapfrogging forward. So, and they're showing me again so in your individual lives, in our individual lives, where do we unshackle ourselves? Where do we free ourselves? We've always been free. Remember on the tarot card of the devil, in this image is maybe a little less clear, but the shackles are loosely held. The prison is self-imposed. We've always had the key. It's Dorothy with the ruby slippers. We've always had the ability to free ourselves, to return home, to liberate ourselves, to save ourselves. So this is saying We're moving from this devil to the lovers to, and in a certain sense, it's a return, but it's a revolution. It's an advancement. Remember, Aquarius, not since Pluto in Aquarius, not since the French and American revolutions, the Industrial Revolution, advancement. Well, and like they're saying to us again with Saturn moving into Pisces, look at 1993 to 1997. What was happening in your individual life at that time? And it will be that on steroids. So this somewhere over the rainbow, this quantum leap forward, this 11 to 42, moving from, they're saying to me, moving from a restrictive paradigm to a limitless paradigm. 11, confined. It fits within these two walls. So it fits within this paradigm. From 11 to 42. Limited paradigm to limitless paradigm. Human self to divine self. God self, divine self. This epic leap, this quantum leap. And because we always say, right? Oh, it's over the rainbow. It exists somewhere outside of us. It exists in another dimension. It exists. It doesn't, quote unquote, exist here. Well, that's because it has. It's just that we've been focused up until this point on the challenge or the opportunity, the struggle, the challenge / opportunity of achieving that. We've been climbing the mountain. We've been focused on climbing the mountain to get to the peak, to get to the ideal, to achieve that status. And in this moment, what they're saying, and there's a tipping point. This is something that Olivia and I were direct messaging back and forth, and it's that 100th monkey theory. It's that tipping point where there's enough of us that have been focused on the ideal, that have wanted and embraced, not just want, but actively live and embrace and pursue the ideal, that the ideal becomes the new reality. Boop. It tips us over. And in the most positive way, not tips us over like fall, tips us over, meaning over the rainbow, tips us to, quote unquote, the promised land, the absolute, unmistakable, unprecedented clarity. It's number 4. And you're going to see how the hexagram gathering together, it's because we came together. It's because we held and honed the ideal of it, the reality of it, the promise of it. And we chose to individually work on ourselves to achieve it, to realize it, to be it, that it tips the scales and it puts us somewhere over the rainbow. It's the beauty of that. And with number 4, they said, absolute, unmistakable, unprecedented clarity, and it's capitalized and underlined. And they said, first time ever, and then I heard recorded history. So for the first time ever in our recorded history, we are going to bear witness. We came here to be at this moment of absolute, unmistakable, unprecedented clarity, forward movement, advancement. And you can see that knowing that, you can see why those that don't believe are clinging. They're terrified. Understand that. Have grace and compassion for them. Wish them well. And get on the train. Know you've got a golden ticket. Get on the train. Don't be late to the party. Because somewhere over the rainbow, Here it is. And use your enthusiasm, your childhood folly. Let me just get the right youthful folly. That trying again. We're going to try again. But the try again is, it's not like, oh, we're going to try again and karma and the wheel and, oh, it's not that. We're going to try again as in accomplish. I had said there was something coming up for us with, and I said, it's a huge undertaking. And the minute the word undertaking came out of my mouth, I heard accomplishment. And I stopped. I was walking outside and I stopped and I was like, oh, because the undertaking infers that it's not complete. It's an undertaking. You haven't achieved it yet. A huge accomplishment says it's a fait accompli. It's a done deal. You're simply like, it's a done deal. You're simply showing up to take the steps. And remember, here's this image. It's time to shine, step by step, putting it together. There wasn't a question about whether or not this magic staff, after having been broken, would heal itself, would reunite itself. It just did it. So see, it's a major accomplishment. It's a fait accompli. If it had been a major undertaking, there's uncertainty. There's doubt. The shadow is present. In major accomplishment, none of that exists. It's a done deal. So see things too in our individual lives. See how that truth is playing out for you. Because it's a done deal. We just need to step by step put it together, show up, present ourselves. Let me bring in some of your comments. And welcome, Lorna. She's going to be watching the replay. Elizabeth is saying, this childlike wonder has been so refreshing, and all of the things I thought were my troubles were not mine. I feel lighter. Exactly. When we lay our burdens down, when we unshackle ourselves. To her second comment, we time travel. We take quantum leaps forward. This is not just in our minds. They're making it very clear that, and they've said this for, a decade. So it's been a long time coming. They've been saying, and a very dear colleague of mine, we used to chat about this, and she's like, what makes it different this time? And I said, it's because they're saying we come in together. We arrive together. So the unseen, the force of the unseen, the energies and the force of source, with humanity, this tipping point, we arrive, we come in together. It's like we arrive and we take off at this, it's this arrival takeoff thing. And that is what they're talking about, because that arrival of coming in together is our takeoff, our departure. It's our arrival and departure. Another dear friend and colleague and I were just talking about that. And it's funny how that's now, in this moment of the show, becoming clear, really clear. Fifth thing they said, Olivia, she said 1993 to 1997 was fantastic for me. So the one thing I left off, remember, 93 to 97 was more personalized, if you will. It's that on steroids. Why is it that on steroids? Because the difference is this time, what you were experiencing, what you were doing, what you were achieving, what you were accomplishing is now done Aquarius. It's done for the collective. It's done for we the people, meaning it will benefit many. What you were doing then may have benefited many. So it'll be that magnified, amplified. It may have been that which it was more personalized. It was something more within your own nucleus, family, friends, job. So it was more contained. Well, this time around, it's magnified, it's amplified, which means it will be for the collective. It will be for we the people. It will be on that more, they're saying, cosmic level. Whole of the whole, cosmic. Number 5, and I just want to bring this up image while I talk about it. So it's this beautiful image. There's an orange with the orange blossom and the leaf on it behind. And then you see 5:55. 555 represents major life changes, neither positive nor negative. It just represents change. Well, then when you sit with this image, and I'll post it in the show thread, look how auspicious, look how just good, juicy, good, happy, joy-filled these fives look and they feel. 5-5, great abundance. 5-5-5, great change. The orange, going back to the association of the orange with Mary Magdalene, Master Jesus, with Israel. You step off the plains in Israel and you smell the orange blossoms. The promised land. There's something about the auspiciousness of this change, of this moment, of this time, of this abundance. And it's embodied in this 5-5-5. So notice if you're seeing that, you'll see this time playing out. You'll see it on clocks or, something on billboards or passing signs. You'll start to see the 5-5-5. But it represents this moment in time. And they said amassing - coming together. This coming and gathering together. A movable feast - force. Remember, the train is leaving the station. It's departing, the arrival and the departure. We're going somewhere. And when you think about this, it's this amassing, this coming and gathering together, a movable feast and force. It was the force that got us to the tipping point, that got us to the peak, that got us to the point where the ideal becomes the new reality. Because there's enough of us. There's a preponderance of us that believe and desire and want something better, something more. The old, we're not having it. We're done with it. And that amount, that force, that amount is less than, Libra, the scale, is less than the preponderance that moves us forward, that moved us collectively coming together. Colleen is saying good. It was similar to where I am now. Exactly. She's referencing the 93, 97. You'll see. And then Olivia is saying the slaves that stayed slaves in their mind never got to the promised land. Exactly, because why? And this is so important. And thank you, Olivia, for raising this. All along, look at all of the, when you read Exodus, the plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, the smiting of rock for water, manna out of the air. Miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle being presented to the people, to the Israelites, to free them, to bring them and provide to them something greater, something more, something better, something promised. And they get right up, there's that 29, that anaretic degree, that degree of faith. And they turned, and the vast majority of them turned and said, nope, we can't have it. It's not real. It's not possible. And they went and wandered for 40 years in the desert, and it affected X amount of generations. Well, here we are. Here we are again. The difference this time is, again, the preponderance of the people, of the souls, of the hearts, of the minds, are very clear that they want and can have and want something more, something better, something pure. And the sixth thing they said, and remember 6, the lover's card, 6, represents humanity. Adam, Eve, man, womankind, humankind. And they said, between two worlds, no longer, no more. Advance. Genuine, pure, eternal. So we are advancing. We are between two worlds, no more, no longer. So again, this epic moment of time and change and unmistakable clarity in some way, shape, or form on a magnitude or level that the world sees, a la like yesterday, the world was watching an event. Well, that's, how do I say, that's almost like infinitesimal, but it's an example to what we're talking about here. We will receive this clarity. We will receive the new, the advancement. Olivia's going on to say, only the newly born, not slaves, ever got to enter the promised land. Yes, after certain generations, they had to go through. And again, it's really this beautiful epic, because when you look at, so take Exodus and Revelations, the two as the example, they talk about leaving enslavement, being freed, and then Revelations talks about one of two realities. One that is the promised land, it goes on forever and ever, it's eternal. And the other one, which is lake of fire, Armageddon, lake of fire. Now apply it to the trains. The train that comes in and docks, stations, goes nowhere. In essence, dies. It's done. And the one on the other side of the platform going the other direction that is just beginning, is taking off. Well, they've never said to us, oh, they've never said where the destination was. They just said it's leaving. It's don't be late to the party. You've got the golden ticket. Get on the train. Think about the childhood folly, the awe and wonder, the enthusiasm, the excitement of the limitless possibility of where that train is going, where that delivers us to. And because it's implied, because they've never, that it's endless, it's ongoing. It's like kind of like getting on a cruise. You like, although that's like a cruise around the world, it's a limitless possibility. Or another way to say it is the destination is limitless. But these are the two references, and take them outside of any religion, any block that you may have from that. Look at them from the place of source, from a place of spiritual grace. Don't allow any religious dogma or limitation to keep you from just seeing the beauty of the word, which is from enslavement to freedom, liberation, to a promised land. And it's one of two options. Eternity, heaven on earth, eternity, goes on forever and ever, or fire, brimstone, lake of fire, Armageddon, end. Because remember, energy can never be killed. It can only be transmuted. So the temperance card, the forge, iron ore, you put in the iron and you heat it up in the fire and you pound, you forge it to remove the impurities of it so as to create something new. I, for one, don't want to be on the train that's dead end, that's going nowhere, that's going to the lake of fire. I'm good. I'm going to go over here with childlike awe and wonder and enthusiasm and joy for my fellow humans, my fellow souls. Because remember, like a ponytail, we are each a strand of the whole. We are each a spark, a strand of the divine. And so when you imagine a ponytail, it's each of us is one strand of that whole, of that epic oneness, creator, creatrix. And how we, again, the theme of gathering together. So let me jump to this because it's hexagram. And there's two more things on the list. Gathering together, hexagram 45, gathering together, network. Its hidden influences 53, development, flower. It's not wilt and die, it's flower. rose, flower, bloom, with its underlining cause is 26, controlled power. There's that. There's the other hexagram 7 where it's like proper use, proper restraint, controlled power. Why? To amplify. And remember, they're saying to amplify, to magnify the purity, the goodness, the light, the purification of them. And it says, success is allowing your lot to reach its highest degree. So your lot may be your lot in life, right? We've heard that expression in English. It's success is allowing your lot to reach its highest degree. Your lot may also be, your lot is in your institutions, your countries, your cities, your governments, your collective unity, your unity, that which is this lot, allowing your lot to reach its highest degree. So it's, in essence, it is about each of us seeing. That's the difference between the old and the new. We're not afraid to have everyone sit at the table. We welcome it. We want everyone to have a place at the table. Why? Because it is the fractal of the color and the nuance and the greatness that is source gathering together, coming together, honoring. Namaste. I bow to the divine in you. I see you. And it's not about competition. It's about collaboration, unity, to reach its highest degree, for the whole of the whole to reach your lot to reach its highest degree. Here's a beautiful quote from this. It says, "It is while you are patiently toiling at the little tasks of life that the meaning and shape of the great whole of life dawns on you." It's a quote by Phillips Brooks. So again, here we've been focused on the little tasks of life, this climbing the mountain, this focusing on the ideal and the deliverance of it, the achievement of it, the accomplishment of it, that the meaning and the shape of the great whole of life dawns on you. That it's that aha moment where we're like, oh, and they're saying to me, oh, like pyramid, peak of a mountain, top of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, that we're at the peak of the mountain, we're at the peak of the pyramid. Well, that's clarity. It's unobstructed, it's undeniable, it is unmistakable, it is unforgettable, it's unparalleled, it's unprecedented, it's clarity. We've risen above, to see everything. So the great whole of life dawns on you. It's like, this is what we've been doing. This is what we've been working towards. So it says, gathering together is a hexagram that shows the interdependency and people coming together because of a shared ideal. The hidden influence of development reveals the natural exuberance generated in grassroots efforts where people of like mind network and become a strong voice. It can appear when there will be meetings or events where you find people with common interests. Where the underlying cause of controlled power was a time of fortification of vision, the time has come for increased social interaction. The image of grass multiplying in nature shows how the individual root is strengthened and multiplies because other roots are joined to its cause. We have all consciously, unconsciously choosing to not be unconscious anymore, so as to magnify, so as to come together, so as to fortify, so as to advance. There is great magnetism created in this situation, which brings others to share your vision. In business, it is important to network in whatever way allows you to expose your product or services to others. In relationships, gathering together is more about shared interests and enthusiasm rather than romance and intimacy. It's a common thread. It's a common, and yet our uniqueness, and this speaks to that. There is a cliquish, there can be a cliquish quality to this hexagram that focuses more on similarities rather than differences. By fortifying order, the group assembles around a shared goal, and this gives the situation a shared sense of purpose. When creatures meet one another, they math together. Hence follows the principle of gathering together. Over the earth is the joyous lake, in the image of crowds drawing together. The strong stands in the middle, therefore others mass around it. The nuclear trigrams suggest a character that emulates the movement and influence of the wind while remaining steadfast like a mountain. Remember, Aquarius, air. We're moving from this fixed, things that are fixed, earth, fixed to fluid. So it's about, but that means it's the influence of the wind. It's the influence of bending, of going with the flow, of being in the flow, while emulating the steadfastness of the mountain, of being resolute, the depth of your character, the depth of your conviction, however, not at the expense of another. Their belief is their belief. Yours is yours. Allow your fluidity to move people, to move them, to influence them, because you're steadfast like the mountain, but not to crush them, not to oppress or suppress them. And this is the beautiful example for the rise, the return, the rise, the presence of the divine feminine after this long time of being oppressed, suppressed. What we typically commonly see is the oppressor, the oppressed becoming the oppressor. We don't want to, that's not in the cards. Justice, Libra, scales, rose, the harmony, the balance, the forgiveness, the salve, the nurturing, because that represents being the mountain. That represents the depth of your character, the strength of your courage, your conviction, without trampling upon another. By being fluid, by influencing, by moving like the wind. When you have in your hold the great image, the empire will come to you. And so this is about, see, when you have in your hold the great image, we have held this great image, this ideal in our hold. We have embodied it, we have lived it, we have worked to achieve it, to accomplish it. And when you do that, it comes to you. That is the beauty of this moment. Item number 7, it says, for once, they said, I heard the phrase, for once I was lost, but now I am found. It's part of Luke 15:24. I looked it up. But what I heard was, for once I was lost, but now I am found. And there was this powerful understanding of, I am found. It's as if I found the I am in me, and the I am found me. I found it, it found me, because they're one and the same. The strand, the ponytail, the strand. So for once I was lost, but now I am found. It denotes deliverance. It denotes accomplishment, achievement. It denotes being on the train, having the golden ticket, being on time. Because I was once lost, but now I'm found. And last but not least, number 8, I heard eternal glory, joy, redemption. So redemption, an act of saving, being saved, atoning. And it can be for sin, error, evil, fault, or mistake. Or state of being redeemed. So this eternal glory, joy, redemption, and this act of being saved, saving, being saved, atoning, and this state of being redeemed. And then glory, high renown or honor won by notable achievement, So high renown or honor won by notable achievement, magnificence, great beauty. They're talking to us about that. They're talking to us about these radiant sunflowers. They're talking to us about this main theme of clarity, this advance. I'm just bringing these images up. The advance, that we are leapfrogging, go straight to higher status. This high renown or honor won by notable achievement, magnificence, great beauty, color, technicolor, 1142. These differences and this beauty of the 555. I'm just bringing it up again because it's, ooh, Lady Jacqueline, it's so juicy, it's so good. and lastly, this quote, be fearless, not afraid. The time will come. Well, that time is now. We are at that time. And so really look out, see what's going on here, because, somewhere between midnight and the early hours dawn, destiny rises up to meet, to greet you. Be surprised not. Just look at this time frame that we're in. Look at this week. Look at tonight, between now, Wednesday and Friday, between now, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Look and take it all in and see what clarity presents itself, enjoins with us. See what we'll know when we know. We'll see it when we see it. Olivia was saying, I read your writings yesterday for today's presentation and saw to let go of the past, which is an illusion, or we cannot go forward. Thank you for that. You're most welcome. Yes, they were giving us, the unseen was giving us that about releasing the illusions of the past so as to receive the presents, the gifts of the present. And this is what they're talking about. That is, because it's the only way. It's the only way. We clean out, we make space, we empty the vessel. Don't hold on to anything. See, they're trying, those that, Lake of Fire, Armageddon, whatever, they're holding on. They want something from the past. Well, okay, you're going to have that experience, but you don't need to. You don't have to. When we empty the vessel, we make space. We are renewed. We are ready to see what's new and exciting before us in the present moment. Ian is sharing with us, Passover, literally pass over, is about leaving behind a state of enslavement and marching toward freedom. I think it's important to discuss accepting one's freedom and how difficult that can be. You have to believe that you deserve it. Yes. And see, that is really the story of Exodus. A preponderance of the Israelites that were freed didn't believe they could have it, even though the presence of God, of Source, was there with them, miracle after miracle after miracle. So don't give up. Degree of faith, this moving 29-0, 29-0. Remember, 0 represents God. 0 represents the whole of the whole, Source. It represents the new beginning. It represents a whole new way. It's the Ouroboros. It's the ending and the beginning contained within itself. So realize, yes, you can. Yes, we can. And it's a major accomplishment. It's a fait accompli. You've already got the ticket. Align with that. And as Ian is saying, the journey was arduous and painstaking and is a good metaphor for life in general. Exactly. It wasn't all, rainbows and kittens and puppies and lollipops and whatever. Because again, God, Source was testing, saying, be worthy, be the ideal. Recognize that what did they say? I am found. I see you, you see me. We are one and the same. We gather, we come together. And together, we move on, we move forward. It's a belief. It's a belief about our higher octave, our higher selves, our true beingness is the word they're giving me. And lastly, Olivia is saying, all this reminds me of Harry Potter and getting on that train that only those children could see and get on to get to this special school. Exactly. You either believe this exists and that you are destined for it, and that it is, to Ian's comment, your rightful inheritance. And that's from a place of deep grace and humility. Because remember, legacy, it was one of the images, the permanent home for the farmer's market at Legacy Park. It was one of the covers. Here it is. And that image was all about, and legacy is both what we create and we leave behind, but it's also what we inherit. And so it's to know that this is our inheritance. And the only way that we receive it, achieve it, and receive it is to be one with it. So thank you all so much. It's 9:09 Pacific time. Look at that, 9. That is light workers and so forth, embracing the zero God. It's a beautiful direction and a way to close off this week's show. So go forth and conquer. Clarity, 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 clarity. I'm going to post these images in the show thread, and we will pick this up next week. I love you all. Thank you so much for your continued support and journey and gathering together. Namaste.